to an executive director, a ring earner, a Millionaire Club member, and a drummer extraordinaire from Cincinnati, Ohio, Mr. Ron Chambers. Take it away, sir.
Wow, thank you very much. I didn't know that I was going to get introduced so quickly, but thanks, Steve. You always do a great job with checking everybody in and playing music. And I know you've got a video you're going to play at the end of our time together tonight. And I'm really also excited that Lynn and Lee Perry had their little foolish things going on tonight because it kind of made everybody relax a little bit. And Mr. Drennan contacted me about doing the training tonight, and it wasn't really on my agenda. So I don't have a PowerPoint put together for you all. So we're just going to have a little fireside chat tonight. But what I wanted to talk about is kind of serious, and it might be a little bit of rebuking, but I'm also going to try to encourage everybody with some good information. But what I've noticed, Mr. Drennan and the team put together these calls, these Zoom calls that we do every day, Monday through Friday at lunchtime and at 8 p.m. and all that. And it's a great tool. And I think they, kind of followed the lead of some other organizations in Legal Shield who have been using those tools to have a lot of success. And I know Mr. Drennan touched on this a while back, and so I'm just going to kind of retouch on it, if you will. We're not having the same kind of success, with our team. As I try to plug into as many of them as I can, even if I'm not the presenter, just to support the other presenter and the team. And our participation as a team overall. I mean, look at this call right now, okay? There's 18 people on this call, so I'm not sure why that is. We should probably have 50 or 60 or more people on a training call, and we don't. So think about that and what we need to do to communicate to our teams about participating in any of the things that we have going on as an organization. But the thing that kind of prompted me to go down this road is that as I've attended these Zoom meetings, a lot of times I'm the only person who has a guest. And I don't have a guest every time by any means, but I just noticed that there's not enough guests there. And the Zoom presentations are not for us. And yes, we should all join in and support it, and be there. But the calls are really for guests to see the membership and guests to see the opportunity that we have with Legal Shield. And so I was trying to figure out how to talk about that, but try to give some kind of information that would be helpful to people in the process of utilizing these Zoom calls, okay? And, so I do, as many of you on this call tonight, you do other trainings outside of Legal Shield trainings, and I do too. And I'm going to share some things with you that I've learned from some other, resources. And it really has to do with this. We're in a Legal Shield business. We all have a Legal Shield business. And for some of us, that business is more part-time than full-time. Many of us have other things going on. We have multiple things that we do or multiple streams of income, which is a really good thing. But I think that the issue with our Legal Shield business is that we're not really growing our top line, and in business, your top line usually means how much revenue you're bringing in, as a company. And then you have your bottom line, after expenditures and all that kind of stuff. What's the bottom line? What do you net out of your business? But what I've been learning more about lately is that our top line and the lack of growing the top line isn't just about the revenue. It's about people. It's about the people that we are connected to. And those people are really a big portion of our top line. We're in a people business here in Legal Shield, right? And so most people consider your top line to be income or money and those kinds of things. And that's true. It's absolutely a part of it. But in our business, the top line is people. Okay. And because we're in the people business, and what I'm thinking, I realize, I'm so grateful for, Lynn Schuster Williams, who put on this networking superstar training thing that she's been doing over the last 6 weeks, for all of us to learn how to become better networkers, because that's a connection to people and other business people as well. So that was an incredible event that she did for all of us, and I hope that all of us partook in that. And I didn't get to meet every one of them, but I know she recorded it, so I can go back and review the information. But she's so good at networking, and she was willing to share that with us. So that's a great tool. But the purpose of that is just to meet more people and talk to more people. And my question to all of us tonight is what are we doing, number one, to network? Okay. We need to network as much as we can. I know we live in a COVID world right now and everything like that, but we've got to plug into where people are. They might be online networking events, as Lynn taught in her class. She's in a networking group that's nationwide. I'm in a networking group that's nationwide too. So we need to plug into those kinds of things. We need to, get involved with our local chambers of commerce, or any kind of special opportunities that might come our way, because I'm a member of a chamber. Somebody in the chamber's having some kind of, event or whatever. I need to get out there and bring attention to me, Ron, not Legal Shield so much. I mean, Legal Shield does a great job of branding our company, but I've got to brand me. We all have to brand us and become interwoven in the communities that we are part of, so people will want to do business with us and tell other people about us. And yes, it's the service that we offer, but the reason they will want to connect us is because of who we are and how we interact with them. So there's a lot of things we can do to promote ourselves, like networking events and so forth, as I mentioned, but we can do things that's free on Facebook. You can put posts on Instagram and Twitter and all these kind of things, something positive. And what I've been learning about lately, and I know that some of us on this call, like Lynn, I keep referring to her because she is the networking expert, video is, everybody's getting a lot of traction with video. Now, some of us on this call should probably not do video, like me, right? Maybe I'm not the greatest thing to look at, but you know what? We got to look at all the options that we have available to us and utilize the things that people are attracted to in those environments. And video is a big deal right now. So I wanted to bring that up. One of the other things that I've noticed about people on my own team, and maybe some of you all, is, maybe Legal Shield's a part-time business for you. Maybe you don't make a lot of money doing it, but we have to spend money to go to events, to paid events. Like a chamber luncheon is not normally free. You buy a ticket to go there, right? And so, I bring up the chamber all the time because I'm a big believer in being a part of the chamber. They named it after me, Ron Chambers. I think you probably all know that by now, right? But we have to invest in our business, which is really investing in ourselves and our families, or whatever the reason is that we have for doing a business or a secondary business. For some of us, this is a side hustle. For me, it's a full-time gig. It started out as a side hustle. It was a part-time gig for me when I first got started because I owned another business. But sometimes we have to spend money. It might be going to a training that somebody has through an organization, an association that you belong to or something like that. I do some of those things because it puts me in front of other people and they get to know me. And over time, I develop relationships with those people. And so I heard a quote by Grant Cardone once. He said, "How you treat money is how money treats you." So if you're stingy with your money, and not that you don't want to throw money away, but you know, you want to look for good opportunities to invest money into yourself and your business, so you can grow your business, even if it's part-time. You know, a great example of that is Chip Humphreys down in Florida. He's a vice principal at a school. He's never going to leave his job. He loves working with kids, but he's a six-figure income earner that he built this part-time business over time to six figures. If he can do that, we can all do that. And it's not always about the money. It's getting connected with the mission of Legal Shield and helping other people. There are so many people, gosh, there's so many people who need what we have. And so sometimes I think we have to go back and revisit, you know, our hearts about what we do and why we're doing it, you know, because a lot of times we focus on money and incentives and bonuses and all trips and all this kind of jazz, you know, and honestly, I love that stuff too, but I don't really pay a lot of attention to that too much. You know, I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm in the business of helping people, whether it's help them protect their legal rights or their identities or their small business or their commercial truck drivers plan that we have to help those guys on the road or whatever it might be. That's my business, is helping people. I'm wired that way. That's why I was attracted to Legal Shield to start with. You know, I was a satisfied customer. I saw how the plan helped me. So I wanted to tell other people about it. I wasn't even getting paid for it, you see? So a sidebar here for a second. I was interviewing a new possible associate today at my office. And I talked to him about this. I said, if you decide to work with me, your first assignment is going to be what, class? Use the membership. Call the law firm. See that it's real. See how it works. See how it can help you. You know, that's number one. So, because he's asking all these questions about the company and the, you know, the Mid-Ocean Partners and the Stone Point Capital and all this and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, all these kind of things that are like really important to a guy like him, because he's going to align himself with this company. He wants to feel really good about who he's aligning himself with. And I get that. And he asked me a question. He says, do you think the ID Shield is the best product on the market? You know, because there's all these other things out there. You know, I hear LifeLock on the radio and TV, and he goes, you think ID Shield's the best product? And I said, yes, I do. I said, but even if it wasn't, it's a good product and people need it and it helps people, and we can make money helping those people protect their identity. What do I care if it's the top product or not? It's a good product, but I believe it is the top product. But it doesn't matter. I'm selling a good service. It's not a funky service. It's not a half-assed service. It's a really good service. So I can feel good about it. So moving on, when I get a chance to meet somebody, whether it's through networking or a chamber event or however it happens, maybe I meet somebody in line at the grocery store, I want to purposefully, intentionally build a relationship with them. I am a professional relationship builder. That's what I do. Lori sometimes looks at me and goes, man, you'll talk to anybody. I just love doing it. Now, listen, when I was a young person, you'll never believe this, but I was really shy and withdrawn. I was not outgoing whatsoever. But then I got in the rock and roll business, and that changed my life, and it changed me. But it's for the better, because in my business now, I'm better because of that. So I intentionally try to connect with people and relate to people and find out how I can help them. I'm more interested in helping them than yapping about me. You know, I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you and what your life is like, what your family's like, what your business is like, what your kids, you know, how old are your kids? I want to develop a real relationship with this person, because, and if I can give them a referral for their business, man, I want to do that more than anything, because I want to help that person. Guess what? That person will want to help me someday too, because I've helped them. It's better to give than to receive. The Bible says, you know what? It also says, whatever a man sows, he reaps. If you sow good seeds, you get good harvests, right? So I want to help them in their business if I can. And that's a whole nother story, what I'm doing with my personal company, the Chambers Group, and incorporating other things into my world and my clients or my customers. But I want to learn about this person, because in the back of my mind, I remember Paul J. Meyer said, everybody is a prospect. How am I doing on time here, guys? Okay, I'm good. Everybody's a prospect. Now, it's up to me to decide if I want to invite them into my world and my business and my life. But as I meet everybody, they're a prospect. So I do have, some selfish motive behind it, because I'm checking them out. I'll help them. Even if I don't like them, I'll help them, but I'm checking them out a little bit. I want to see, are they a person that I'd like to align myself with and invite to come into my business? Is this person a person I would invite into my business? That, sometimes takes a while to figure out. So I want to learn what their talents are, what their skills are, what their motivations, what their ethics are, what their belief systems are. I love that little book that, Shield Nation has out about our values, our core values. This guy that I interviewed today, I sent him a video through Prospect by Legal Shield to show him the professional sellers kind of thing. And I gave him that book from Shield Nation, because I want him to understand who I am and who our team is and what we stand for as people and business people. So he hasn't seen a bunch of stuff. It's more important that I have a connection with him personally before I get into the business. This is my philosophy. I'm not telling you should do it, but I think I'm right. As I always am, right, Lynn? No, but I got to know a person. I got to have faith in them, and their value system has to line up with mine. So that document that we went over with Darcy Hoffman, the last time I did a training on the treasure hunting in their website, go to Shield Nation and pull that down and look at that and start looking at what you're talking to people about that you're considering bringing into your business. Hey, how'd you hear about Legal Shield? Tell me about your background. What do you like to do? What have you been involved in? What kind of things do you do? What interests you most about our company? Why are you talking to me right now? What do you see that you like, or maybe what you don't like? How do you go about developing a successful business with Legal Shield? How would you? I'm asking them, how would you? And they're saying, well, I don't know. I see what you're doing. I probably would want to go down that road. But as I learn about their skill set, I might not have them go do exactly what I do. That's the beautiful thing, without getting into all the details about the treasure hunting, is you learn their skills and talents. And as Darcy says, you bring Legal Shield in around where they are, where their strengths and their talents are, instead of trying to take them and plugging them into Legal Shield a certain way. You see, because as you learn about these people and their skill sets, it opens up the door for you to have multiple streams of income in your business and Legal Shield. Okay, everybody can sell personal Legal Shield plans and ID Shield plans. Some people can sell those same benefit. Some people can sell the small business plan and then bring in the Legal Shield plan as a benefit to the company too, or vice versa, go in one way and bring the other one in. Sometimes. The commercial truck drivers plan, gosh, the trucking industry, the transportation industry is huge. It's huge. We don't have many people tapping into that. I'm trying to figure out how to tap into that. So then you have consumer sales. Like I said, you can talk to any single person, any individual person about the services. So why not have people on your team who are good at all of those things? See, it's very difficult for any of us as a person to be good at all of those things. It just really is. Group employee benefits, that's a hard thing to do, because there's 3 or 4 different skill sets involved in it. but like me, I can do that because I've learned it over time, but I don't know anything about the commercial truck driving industry too much. But I'm looking for and trying to recruit to that industry. I'm looking for a person who's in the industry who can understand it and speak to people ethically about what goes on in their industry and how we can help them with that. So somebody's got their mic unmuted. Check your mics, everybody, real quick. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and we're getting close to the end. I don't know who I'm turning this thing back over to, but I just wanted to mention this. I think that we all have to really kind of slow down to go fast sometimes. I know we've all heard that, but every so often you have to kind of do a plan, do review. You have to look at your business and decide what you're doing with it. And I'm kind of in a spot like that right now. I'm kind of looking at my business and I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I've been in a recruiting mode a lot lately through the summer. I've been working on recruiting. As you all heard, I'm going to be the #1 recruiter on the team. But now I'm into the fall, and as a lot of you know, I have a lot of group business, and this time of the year is when all that stuff starts happening. It's already going on, okay? And that demands my time. So I don't have as much time to work on the recruiting because that's just a good hunk of my business, the employee benefits side of things. But I can't stop recruiting. So I have to slow down and I have to be really diligent about planning my days and my weeks and my months between now and Christmas. Because if I don't, I can let this one part of my business kind of consume me. And that makes me out of balance. And I don't want to be out of balance. I never want to stop recruiting because recruiting is how I will build my business into having multiple streams of income with all the different divisions that Legal Shield has with their plans, the leverage that I get from being a business owner and having an agency where I have other people selling the product and they're making good commissions and I'm making overrides. That's leverage. The network marketing business is about leverage, right? And I want more of that, so I can't stop recruiting. So I got to figure out a way to get that in every single day or however, maybe I do recruiting on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Tuesday and Thursday I do group. I don't know. I'm working through that right now, but I have to slow down and make a decision consciously what I'm going to do over the next week, actually tomorrow, because I have an enrollment tomorrow morning, but then what do I do with the rest of that day? For the rest of the week, the next 2 days, for the rest of the month, for the rest of the quarter? I have to stop and think about what I want to try to do and accomplish and set those goals down and write out a plan to make that happen. And sometimes you just got to go to work. I see this happen a lot, guys, is sometimes we feel like we got to figure it all out. We got to figure out how we're going to go to do this or that or the other thing. And I'm telling you, and this is probably contrary to other folks, I'm sure, some of them, you know what? I've never been like that. When I got a new car, man, I got in the car, I started that sucker up and I put it in drive and I took off. I didn't get the manual out of the glove box and go through it. I didn't read about all the features. I got in that sucker and drove it, and then I figured out all the features later. In our business, it's like what this guy I was talking to today. I'm going to ask him to invest some money. I said, it's $99, but I want you to spend $249 and pay for the Legal Shield Advantage for the next 12 months up front. I want you to do that because you're going to need those tools to run your business. You got to have a plan, both plans, the Legal Shield and ID Shield plan. If you want to work with me, you got to own them. So you got to shell out, $300 and some to get started. Some people might not agree with that. Some people might not have that money. This guy's got the money. So I'm just telling him, I'm not trying to nickel and dime him down as I go. I want him to know, you got to knock out $300 or $400 or $500 to get this thing launched. And when we put you in, he's going to go to the conference that starts tomorrow. He's going to come to my office in the morning. We're going to sign him up online. He's going to go register for the conference and go to the 6 to 9 p.m. business solutions or small business training tomorrow night. And on Friday, the other training for business solutions. He's going to do that stuff. I told him, I said, what's your schedule like, man? You got to do this. If you're going to get going, you got to get some training. And rather than me trying to train him all for the next 2 days, I'll take 2 days away from going out and try to get him started to get him this training because he wants to do B2B. That's what he's geared for. So I looked at what his strengths were, what his desires were, and I plug him into that particular avenue with Legal Shield. Okay. So with that, guys, I hope that helps somebody tonight. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody was waiting to hear some of that. Maybe somebody said, man, I didn't need to hear that, but I had to say that. So sometimes I'm preaching to myself. So with that, Steve, I don't know where we go from here, but I'm going to turn it back to you or to Lynn or somebody to take it from here.
Awesome training, Ron. Thank you so much for pouring into us, for showing up, for giving us your time and energy. And you said, you know, after your enrollment tomorrow, you weren't sure what you were going to, you had to plan what you were going to do with the rest of your day. Well, I'm here to say tomorrow is the Ladies of Justice breakout. So go do that. It'll be awesome. Everybody have a great Wednesday night. And we're gearing up for a fabulous conference. So see you there. Bye now.
I'm here to talk about success.